Hi, welcome to class. This is for the Zoom people. I'll be talking, you can listen. All right, let's share the screen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's watch this short. Can we strike the lights? Oh, let's see. Is audio coming out? No, great. Ding dong. Is this Alex in the class and on the thing? All right. All right, welcome, chat. Like and subscribe, chat. You can use my promo code, Tim, for 5% off Gavlin College merchandise. That's what I'm sponsored by. Okay, let's watch this short. Oh, someone's talking. Not in person today. All right, Alex. All right, I hear audio over there, so that's a good sign. Okay, the only problem is how do I get rid of this dumb stuff? I guess let's put it down there and hide those. Unless you're going to be like Tim, you can get rid of that dumb stuff by hide video panel. What? Oh, cool. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I shared it on Zoom. All right. You can come on in. You leave the door open. That's fine. All right. Well, I hate YouTube and all this stuff that we have to look at, but I guess it's what we have to for free stuff. All right. Strike the lights, please. All right. And then I want to stop the share. Okay, there we go. All right. What do we think about that piece? Alex says that's called karma. Okay. What do we think? What did we notice? Did we like it? Yes, good, bad? How long was it? No. Whoa, that was pretty accurate guess. Did it feel like a 2 minute short? 2.5? Yeah. Pretty good, pretty effective. What do we think about the production value? watching stuff, but I want. It was creative, right? It was pretty simple. Oh, we got some other piece going on over there. Okay. Creative, yeah. What else do we do? Anything specifically about how the story is told?
Obviously, there's no dialogue.
No, that's obviously. No one else said that. Obviously, you.
Everything else is just ambience going on in the office and whatever noise the whole makes.
So yeah, so technically, a silent film or whatever, there's no dialogue, but we have sound effects, right? And there's a lot of sound effects in there. What are some notable sound effects that you can think of?
Copy machine.
Copy machine was going the whole time. So, huh?
It's crunching.
The crunching?
Yeah,
Of eating he's had the Snickers.
Sound effect that he does his hand or body.
Very simple way to tell that, hey, there's that black hole, something's going on with it, is the closer things get, we start getting that. And even when we have the POV of the hole, which is the shot downward looking up at him through, like we're looking through the hole, anytime we're in that shot, we hear the like noise. So that's an easy way that narratively we can tell our story by using sound effect. What else did we notice?
I like the overall color of it was like a silverish blue night. So it just seemed like a very, I would say, I would say depressing, but like would you consider the colors colder?
It's definitely colder. They're trying to emulate like an office,
Yeah.
right? And offices are lit by these fluorescent lights that are above us, and it's giving us a little bit more green, I think. It's also that short is probably 15 years old now at this point, so it's shot digitally. Anything else we know?
Question. What was the original thing that he was copying that created the black hole? Why would he just take a photocopy of like a big black circle? Did I miss something?
It wasn't. Remember, he opened it up and he looked at the thing. And he's like, oh, this, like, he looked at it and then put it to the side because he thought, oh, this is an error or something.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of it. It came out of the copy machine and then we had a portable hole, basically. Yeah.
A lot of ambiguousness. Where the hole came from.
Sure.
It gives you a sort of, I would say, deceit, I guess, that element of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that aren't answered, but again, if we're making a 2-minute, 3-minute short story, some things we don't need answered. I mean, the filmmaker probably could be like, oh, well, you know, they bought this new copy machine and it was on the fritz and it popped out this thing or whatever. We don't need to know that's the story because what's the necessary points of the story that we need to know? The main character works at an office. A black hole came out of the copy machine. He realized the benefits of having a black hole by stealing candy bar, and then realized, oh, well, I can get into the safe. And then made the fatal mistake of, or the dumb mistake of climbing completely through the hole into the safe, right? Where we had the sound effect, and the filmmaker creatively told us too, like he was gonna have to show us the tape. Use one piece of tape. What, like, I would use way more tape.
I think it was the black hole that sabotaged him. Did it?
You think the black hole is like sentient and wanted? That's a good interpretation.
Trapped him in there first.
Yeah, I think that it's fun. And what's neat about a 2-minute short like this, so when you're making your final videos, and also this kind of represents. We'll be watching a lot more of these, but project number 3 is you're going to make a story without dialogue. It's gonna have sound effects. It's gonna have music. This one didn't really have music in it, right? But you need to tell a story without words. That's kind of the process of that. So be thinking of that. We're not assigned that yet. We're actually going to wrap up project 1 today. We'll talk about what project 2 is. But I just wanted to, I like to show the shorts that we're watching. Questions, comments, or concern? Thank you for watching it. I think that I think it's a fun one. Great. What I want to do is, for those of you, how many of you finished project number 1? Huh?
I forgot to upload it.
Forgot to upload it. We'll take. Do you mind if we share yours? We're gonna watch the ones that are finished right now, and allow everyone else when we go into lab to do yours today. You can do it in class. I can help you finish. It is due by Sunday at midnight. Right? We should have plenty of time to do it. We'll talk about project 2, and then we're going to talk about some microphones today. But let's take a look at some of these completed ones. And as always, questions or comments are encouraged. But let me log in. Also, if you can't see, we're gonna I'm gonna project it up here. So first and foremost, for Alex has been watching. I didn't turn the laptop, so the people at home are gonna have fun. Right. Let's go here. I'm gonna log in. See my password and my G number. That's going to decide whether or not it works. We're going to go to our video editing. All right. I've got 3 submitted so far. We got Bryce's. Let's take a look. All right. I like Bryce submitted photos and labeled them so that I know which one would be what. And we can see our subject here is a cross-cutting, or this is our close-up, right? What's your dog's name? Nico? Yeah. Well, who's it named after? Not, it's named after Nico. Nico? Okay. I wasn't sure if you're a One Piece fan or not. That's what I was checking in on. Sometimes I've called Nico Robin like a bunch of times by accident. So, that's what I said, but I'm 900 deep. So, all right. Oh, she just showed up. Hey, what's up? Hey, check out this ECU. What do you think of this? There we go, right? So what's fun about choosing a dog as your subject is when we're talking about our proportions, right? We still, it works on a dog. Now, a dog isn't bipedal like us. So thinking about the wider shots might get more fun to think about, but let's take a look. Now, the only note here is for framing, your eyeball's kind of dead center right here. So where should the eyeball be moved? Like, here's our top third right here. I probably put the eyeball up here, maybe over here or over here, but we're learning. All right, let's check out our MCU. All right, hey, what a great looking dog. All right. How'd you get the eyeball? You had to pull the hair back or anything, or was it just a lucky shot? So our MCU is chest up. So on a dog, this would be the chest of the dog, I guess, proportionally. We have this upper third, the eyeballs right here. I like that it's kind of left, the dog is left or right justified looking left. So giving some talk space over here. Good, I like the composition in this one. Let's look at your medium. Great. Again, remember, medium is more waist up, right? Or waist up. It's hard for the dog. So waist up for the dog, I would almost go like top of the legs because the dog is just a weirder part. So maybe I would have gone in a little bit more. You have the dog center framed, right? So the dog's looking at the camera. We can put them in the center. But I do think the eyes could come up a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Good job. Here's our wide. Oh, what a star. You gonna cast the dog in anything coming up?
I don't know.
You know what they always say in filmmaking? What are the two things you should never work with? Animals and children. And why is that? Why do you think you shouldn't work with animals and children? Well, the old credo is because you can't control them. They are going to do what they're going to want to do on the set, and you just get lucky. But now it's like, well, you know, a film set is kind of a bad environment for kids and animal abuse and everything. You know, you're going to train the animal to do the thing you need it to do or whatever. A lot of animals are CG now, and you know, lots of kids in pieces. All right, I love the shot. Okay, here's our cross cutting. Let's check it out. So remember cross cuttings looking. Oh, all right, drinking some water. Uh-oh. Now the dog's peeing. Oh, and back to the water. All right. I like that. It's fun to do that with the dog. We could also do like um the dog is peeing, but then we have the POV of the dog seeing the dish. Okay, looking from the dish, going back to it and doing this. This was great. And our establishing shot. Where did this take place? Woo, dog part. Okay, Bryce. Great job. Thank you for being being a first example. There you go. You got the first 100 points.
I love any chance I get to show my dog.
Yeah, we like Nico. We stand Nico here. So, all right. All right, let's go back here. I'm gonna refresh. I see 3 people. All right, new tab. Awesome. All right. Let's there we go. Excellent. Whose is this? Okay, sorry, I didn't look at the name at first. Okay. So this one is fun. This one's actually tricky, and I almost was like, "Oh, I think there was confusion." But the problem is, so who knows what this movie is? Well, you do, of course. Yeah, what movie? Eraserhead. By who? Oh, yeah. Who's the director? David Lynch, R.I.P. One of the best. One of the best to do it ever. This is a very weird movie. Probably the coolest baby ever on film. Okay, so for me, if this was the close-up, I've always said the close-up's like the face, full face. So we're looking at Eraserhead right here. But this isn't, we're not going off of the portrait's dimensions. We're going off the DVD box's dimensions. So would you say this is the DVD or Blu-ray? Is it a Blu-ray or DVD? Would the Blu-ray case, would this be the face? I guess not, right? So thinking of just, so were you trying to do the portrait, the face? So for the close-up, it's more like this. I think that when you go to your extreme close-up here, that's more of a close-up, maybe a little bit off. And then the extreme is like eyeball or nose or like even just like both eyes would be extreme close-up on the portrait. So just like this. This is you're not going to lose credit at all, but this is all learning opportunities. So then thinking about this shot, you got his hair. Hair is the thing. This I would go is closer to an MC, in between an MCU and a close-up. So then the medium close-up would probably be his full image, but you have a racer head now here. So because you don't have his full proportion, I would have just worked off of the DVD. So like an extreme close-up could have just been the word David Lynch. And a close-up could have just been an eye. Or your close-up could have been the face. And I think maybe if you did the face with the hair, it could have been like this, could have been considered a close-up. And then maybe your what you said was the ECU is closer to it. But then going to this is I would say this is more a medium. Because here's then we go to a medium, and for the medium, is the box your subject? No, you wanted this to be your subject. So this is more a wide now that we're seeing the full eraser head box. You chose a tricky one, so that's the problem. So like, let's just say this is the DVD case, right? If we see all of your subject, that's a wide shot, no matter what it is, right? So medium is like about the half the subject. I always say waist up, right? But that's actually half my body would be the medium. And the close-up is like a quarter of my body. Or sorry, the MCU is about a quarter of my body. Now, the close-up is more like 10% of my body. And then the ECU is like 2% or whatever this percentage of my body would be. And so, good. Oh, here. Again, this is a wide. It works as a wide, but the way that you framed the last one made me think, okay, so maybe the box and the Blu-ray were supposed to be the subject. Seeing all of it, this I would even say is like an extreme wide or a ELS, which is a extreme long shot, because our subject's so tiny now, right? Like if it, just think your Blu-ray is a person and the person's that small in the frame, that's a really, really wide shot, right? Like maybe that we would see crowds of people and we'd be high angled. I love your cross cutting too. See, this is great. Paths of Glory, come and see, Paths of Glory, looking at each other. I like the faces too. All right, great job. In establishing shot, we see a room. Good job. All right. Since you have the bonus, rank those 3 movies. Ooh, very interesting. I like that. Ooh, I like that ranking a lot, I think. Yeah. Or you're ranking by the one that you think is best, or are you ranking by your personal faves? Best. Okay. Eraserhead's one. I always like to rank it based on my own preferences rather than what I think is better. Because I've watched movies where I'm like, oh, that's technically better, but I don't like it as much as some that are flawed. So I always like to rank things I like based off of how I like it. But great. These are all great movies. Recommends. You got a big Criterion collection?
Probably like 11, 12 movies.
It's a good start. Hey, talk to Grant about his DVD collection. I really have almost no physical media. I did the dumb thing where that would like lady said like, hey, get rid of things that don't bring you joy. And so then I gave all my DVDs away. Yeah, I gave them all away, and then now I regret it. Like I kept like a couple, but I kept most of my Criterions, but I got rid of like a lot of the. I'm not a film historian. I do appreciate film. I like film history, but I was like, oh, everything's streaming. I can get everything all the time or whenever. So great job. Woo. Look. Oh, I did forget the most important thing. Sorry. All right, let's go back over here. Oh, no. Okay. I gotta, so I'm on the Gab one, so but I want to switch to my personal one. All right. And then let's go here. Cool music choice. Subscribe, like, comment. Okay, great. All right, let's go back here. Anybody else, if you have yours that you want to share and it's not uploaded yet, or you want to send me a link right now, we can take a look. These are all great examples, great learning opportunities. Let's watch one. Let's watch. Oh, this is mine. Well, guess what? There we go. Great. All right, cool. I'm test student. Oh, look at this dude. Okay, cool. All right. Anybody else want to share theirs? Last chance. Anybody at home want to share theirs? All right. Great. All right. Let's before we start looking at some fun stuff, let's just go back here. All right. All right, let's look at, I think it's right here. And we are going to look at framing. All right. All right. September 28th. So you got 2 weeks after Sunday to do a PSA. Who knows what a PSA is? Yeah, Dom. Public service announcement. This is your brain on drugs. The purpose of this exercise is to tell me, make a persuasive video. So we live in the era of content where there's a lot of people telling us what to do or what not to do. You log on to Instagram or TikTok and you have someone's face, hey, here's a life hack, or you shouldn't do this, or you should eat these pills, or you should not drink this, or you should cook this way, you should do X, Y, or Z. These are all persuasive videos. But what a public service announcement is it's a video that's created as a nonprofit for the betterment of the community. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm calling it a PSA, but you just have to make me a persuasive video. And what does that mean? That means that you have to make a video that tells me to do something or not do something. Can someone think of a PSA or a video that you've watched that's told you to do something? Yeah. Like a how to do yourself, right? And what's the how to trying to tell you? Do you have an example? Yeah, absolutely. Like I tell you right now, anytime something's wrong with my car, I watch someone fix it, or something's wrong with something I can't, like half the time I'm editing and I'll be like, oh, what's going on? This is an error I haven't encountered. So then I go and watch like a 6-year-old on YouTube show me like, oh, this is how you fix this, or this is how you do it, and whatever. Or someone, it's not a 6-year-old, but there are a lot of young people, smart people online that you can watch how to do things. What's another example somebody has? Yeah, Bryce. Okay, that's a persuasive email, right? Like, but a video, do you get a Nigerian Prince video? Have you seen a Nigerian Prince video? I have definitely seen trick videos in there. But what I really want you to do is make me a persuasive video that either tells me to do something or not to do something. Let's watch a couple examples of PSAs, just so we're familiar. Who knows a famous PSA that I'm going to show right now? Only you can stop forest fires. This one's really famous.
Is there anyone out there who's...
Oh man, the settings always get messed up. Which one?
Yeah, Reefer Madness. Let's go.
Reefer Madness. Yeah, that's a documentary. Not the devil's lettuce. I mean, that's kind of messed up. Your screen sharing is paused. Why? Great. Let's stop the share. All right. Hello, hello. Everybody out there can hear me? Let's just make sure. All right, back over here. Let's share again. Share. I love Zoom. It's so great. All right, let's watch this one.
Is there anyone out there who...
What the? All right. Okay. It hates me. That's the problem with it. Okay, here we go. I don't know why it switched back, but we should be good. Let's see. Okay, there we go.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Okay, this played on TV back when I was a little kid. I saw this all the time. Any questions? So what is the persuasive message that this is trying to tell us? Drugs will fry your brain. So is it a positive or negative story? It's trying to tell us that, is it trying to tell us to do something or not to do something? Not to do something, right? Even though like egg fried brain kind of sounds kind of cool, right? But that being said, what did we note about how they told us this persuasive message? Did the man say, don't do drugs because it'll fry your brain? Quick and easy. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it did what it wasn't telling us. It was like showing us an example. We're video production, right? We're image creation. So it's going to do, hey, this egg is your brain, crack, it gets cracked. Now it's on drugs and it's fried. Okay, we get that. Any questions? What else do we notice about this? What other narrative devices were put into it? That is one thing that the actor says is like, okay, I'm telling you for the last time, because it's like, okay, you must have heard this before. Drugs are bad. This is a different way to say drugs are bad. Production wise, though, did you notice anything specific about the production? It's way earlier than early 2000s. This is 1980s. It's bad quality. It's 4:3. Let's note that it's bad quality because it was filmed on probably a VHS. And this is who knows how many generations. This is pre-YouTube video. Yeah, actual TV. You are noting something specific about this piece. There's no edits in this. It's all one continuous take. Who knows what that's called in filmmaking? Yeah, we said it yesterday. It's fun. Yeah. I mean, that's not. No. Oneer. A oneer. We know we'll talk more about oneers in the future, but those are fun shots. Think of the opening of Boogie Nights. That was the first one I went to. Think of the shot in Goodfellas where they're going to the Copacabana. Think of the whole movie of 1917 or the movie Rope. They all look like it. There's no edits. I don't think so. I mean, I think it's a dolly in on him sitting there. I would say like a oneer is usually a longer take. So they're over like a minute. I love when I'm watching a movie, I don't know it's a oneer, then like a minute in, I'm like, oh, there hasn't been an edit. How long is this gonna go? Like the movie, anybody see the TV show, The Studio? They do a whole episode about the oneer. And then there was something else I was just thinking of that has lost my mind. But notably, oh, here we got chat going. Negative conditions, low key hype that you commented that before you played it. Okay. Yeah, great. Thanks, Alex. Also, what's notable about this is looking at this shot, our subject, who's unnamed person, the actor, is telling us this. Why should we listen to this person? How do the filmmakers or the PSA makers tell us that this is an authority figure? Yeah, it's kind of more of a naturalistic lighting. It's almost like a window is breaking it up. What this does is it gives us almost like, and this is kind of like naturalistic lighting. So it makes us feel like, hey, I'm having a conversation with my parent at home, right? It's not lit. He's not perfectly lit or anything. This is like, hey, I just walked in the kitchen and my parent is telling me don't do drugs. But what else? That's good insight. What other techniques are used?
Looks authoritative to you. He's got, a deep voice that's very
The casting, for sure.
bossy.
This wants us, no matter who it is, it wants us all to feel like this is a father figure or an authority figure, an adult who's telling us what to do. And we all have been, another interesting element, speaking of framing and production, the camera angle. Remember I talked about how we frame somebody, the camera angles, what the tripod does? Where's the tripod in comparison to this subject? Are we high, low, or neutral?
It's very much like a child, or an adolescent. It's right here at the chest level.
So are we high? Is the tripod high, low, or neutral?
It's neutral.
Neutral is on the eye line.
Yeah.
Low. So yeah. So inherently, if the camera is lower, and by the way, the subject's also doing the thing called breaking the fourth wall, which I think I mentioned it before, but who knows what breaking the fourth wall is? Yeah. So when the character breaks the fourth wall, it means that we, the audience, are the subject. So this is a POV shot, right? That's why it's one continuous take, because in your actual life, you don't normally edit, right? Like there's not edits. And when we edit, we're jumping time or space. In your normal life, that doesn't happen. When's the only natural time that editing in our lives happen? Sleep. Boom. Close my eyes. It's especially fun. I always tell my kids that when we're on a trip, I'm like, hey, why don't you take a nap and you'll time travel? Because you close your eyes and open up and immediately you're hours and distances away from where you're at, right? Oh, that's time and space traveling while you're sleeping. Are they actually time traveling? No, because the rest of reality happens. But as far as they're concerned, because we're all in our own bodies, if I close my eyes and plug my ears, are you all still here? Ooh, my brain's getting fried right now, right there. Sorry, I'm not on drugs. Okay, well, why did I say that? All right, but getting back to the perspective of a child, and okay, sleep is our natural way that we edit. So we went into this piece. We are the subject. The authority figure in the piece is telling us what to do. It's telling us, don't do drugs, right? And the way that it's filmed, it's our POV as the audience. So narratively, what piece is doing is it's in your PSA, it's called a call to action, and that is how or what you're telling your subject matter. We're going to watch about 2 or 3 PSAs. We won't go. I have lots of examples online, but I just wanted to point out, this one has an authority figure. Doesn't have to be someone you know. It could just be an actor acting as an authority figure, or someone telling you like, hey, you don't do drugs or do drugs, right? Like, because there could be an opposite PSA where it's an authority figure saying, do drugs. Yeah, Cheech and Chong tell you you should do drugs because this could be your brain on drugs. Cool, you know. Really, your PSAs could be any example like this. Yeah, it's this one right here. Well, and I think Pee Wee Herman's doing a parody of.
They say that if it comes from the ground, it's probably sound.
Okay, I hate videos that do that. Okay, let's I'm getting distracted.
I learned it from you, Dad.
All right. So let's watch. We're gonna watch like maybe two more, and then we'll move on. But let's watch this one. Okay, what do we think of that one? Yeah.
Saw the crowd, like just they were still going. The crowd was there. It's just an empty mic. Feel bad for laughing. It was a bit of like that just felt like I was. I would say it's too much, yeah. But I did. At first, I thought it was a don't drink and drive one, but I didn't see. It was like at the point where we got to the grave, I didn't see any cars or alcohol.
What's the call to action for this piece? And how did it tell us to do that? No, but how? Like, as filmmakers, what technique did they use to tell us this? So we start out this piece with basically a short film, right? And we're seeing the missing people. We don't know why. We're using dramatic music. What in this short film, what techniques did they use though? How is this one similar to the black hole? Yeah, no dialogue, right? No dialogue in the piece. All it is music and images together. Essentially like a music video, but it's a short film. Then at the end, we see kind of the resolution, but how does this PSA tell us to do something differently than the last PSA? The last PSA, we had the authority figure saying, don't do drugs, right? How does this one tell us what it's all about? Yeah, at the end, we're using fonts on the screen. So we're actually telling the audience, we watched the skit, we watched the short film. It was impactful. Hopefully the point of the short film was to make us think and feel something, which was like, oh geez. And then the call to action is, here are the signs, here is the number to call if you say something, right? Like that is how the piece. So there was no narration, and there was no authority figure, because they could have had the "this is your brain on drugs" guy show up and then say, these are the signs, and if you see the signs, you better call, right? No, this is a different tact, and it's a way of not using dialogue. It's a dialogueless piece, right? But it does have text at the end, which then helps push the narrative. All right, we're gonna watch one more. I'm just trying to show you, so PSAs say something, but we need to think about how are you going to say something? Because just the difference between this one and that one is, am I going to shoot a short film that tells how to do something? Or am I going to get an actor to be an authority figure to say, don't, Bryce might say, I'm going to do one about my dog. All right, you should walk your dog once a day. That's the PSA I'm going to do. So then, do you do a short piece about your dog? Be like what your dog does when it's not being walked? It's chewing up things, it's upset, it's having accidents. And then you say at the end with fonts, you should walk your dog at least once a day because it needs it, and here's information. Or Bryce, are you on camera saying, this is Nico. This is Nico with a walk. This is Nico without a walk. Any questions? You could do something like that. Or we'll see more examples. We're going to watch more throughout the semester. I just want to show you a couple of different narrative choices.
This is a story about Coleman Sweeney. Coleman, in short, was an asshole. Everyone in this small town knew it. It wasn't that he tried particularly hard to be unpleasant. It just seemed to come naturally to him. Coleman felt like the whole world owed him something. father's cousin to live in a decent, acceptable society. And small animals. Even as a children, he was an asshole. He was, as they say, born to it. But then, the strangest thing happened. Something entirely unexpected. And it came as he argued over whether extra fries should be included in a $1.99 early bird breakfast, which was a typical Coleman Sweeney brand. It was then that Sarah found something completely unexpected. Coleman Sweeney had registered to be an organ donor. Nobody knew what caused Coleman to do it, but it was generous and majestic. And that was the day that Coleman went from asshole to hero. You see, his liver was a stand, a father of two. His heart was more than an organ. He went on to teach for 25 more years, and his tendons went to Staff Sergeant W, who was able to walk again, and would never need to be pushed across the street by his physical therapist. And in a moment of small world irony, his audience went to his 82-year-old next door neighbor so that she could finally see the crack that a dog made in the sidewalk and pick it up. Yes, in life, Coleman was a modified asshole. 365 days a year. But let's just raise our middle fingers and shut up yours, Coleman Sweeney. You're not an asshole.
All right. All right. I don't know why they put their website on this, but what did we notice about this one? Sure, but what's the call to action here? Absolutely, sign up to be an organ donor. Why? Because you could save a life, right? And how did the content creators, what did they do differently than what we've watched in the other two?
This one used a narrator because the actual Coleman Sweeney himself didn't have any dialogue. That's how
It had dialogue. We heard much, but yes, a narrator. Do we recognize the voice of the narrator? Yeah, Reese's Pieces and Lego Batman. Will Arnett's voice right there. So we use a narrator, which in a situation when we're watching a piece and we only have a narrator, do we ever see Will Arnett in the piece? No. So this is a technique called the voice of God. And the voice of God is a unbodied voice that is outside of the piece. I'm sure we can think of some movies where that happens, where there's just a narrator. But in this, a unvoiced body, especially one with Will Arnett, who's got a lot of gravitas to his voice. My voice does not have that, more nasally. I do a nasal voice for myself. It gives an air of authority. So him going off, and then what does this piece do that's different than the other two? Yeah, comedic. It used comedy. It's a serious piece though, right at the end, but it does this reversal. It gets us engaged to be like, oh, this, I heard some of you laughing at the beginning where it's like, this guy's an asshole, right? And then to know where it goes, this is an organ donation PSA. It's a fun reversal of fortune. So there's a way, it's almost like doing the opposite to make a point. So these are all ways, but you can use narration. So even like a more basic one, let's think, I just show an egg frying and I don't have an actor and I just record my voice. Don't do drugs or else your brain will be an egg. All right, there, that's a PSA. Voice of God is not included. All right. So September 28th, you need to film and record your PSA. What's great about project number 2 is you can work in groups. So you can work together on a PSA. So if everybody wanted to work in one big group, we could film one PSA all together, or we could do separate, or you don't have to work in groups. But this class builds, so I want you to use what you learned from the first project in this second project. And in this project, you are being graded on proper framing, proper shots, as well as using a persuasive story. So what does that mean? I don't expect you don't have to use the best audio, you don't have to use the best video. You could film everything on your phone and edit it or not edit it. You could do one shot like This Is Your Brain on Drugs, but you have to be able to tell us what you have to choose how to tell the story persuasively. Okay? Great. Before we end this portion of the lecture, I'm going to turn this way. We're going to talk about audio. All right. So audio is going to be a component in this piece, just as far as even the ones that had no dialogue had music, right? So we're going to include audio, maybe sound effects, and or a person talking. So how do we capture audio? Well, I'm sure we're a production class, we can think about our microphones. And there's several different types of microphones that we can use to record. Who can tell me one type of microphone? Yeah, shotgun microphone, right? For those that don't know, this is a shotgun microphone. Why is it called a shotgun microphone? Looks like a barrel of shotgun. Yeah, not really. Good guess, good guess. But that's not why it's called that. Jason's storming out. What? Don't say that. That's not cool. He's, I think, going to pull up some more microphones. So, what the shotgun microphone refers to the audio pattern. So every microphone that we're going to use has a different audio pattern. Oh, thank you. You want to get me a lab also? Yeah. Thank you. So, who knows what this one's called? Yeah. They're dynamic microphones, right? But what? That's the dynamic pattern. What type of microphone? So every microphone has a name and has a pattern to it. Handheld, yes. So a handheld or stick microphone or an interviewer piece microphone. So the dynamic pattern of this one is so we'll talk a lot about recording patterns. So what's similar about both of these microphones is their patterns are directional. What does that mean? If I'm recording something directional, what do you think that means? You have to point it at your subject. Now these two microphones are pretty much. Oh yeah. Okay, here. Let me do that one, but it looks like that one. Thank you. Our microphones are directional. So if I point this at Noah, which microphone is going to record your audio better? Shotgun microphone. And why do you think that is? Yeah, so the recording pattern of this shotgun microphone has a recording pattern that, like a shotgun, basically all of these slots in here are inputs for the microphone. Our audio, it comes out of our mouths, our tongues, and our throats make the sounds. It travels at the speed of sound and then is captured into here where it's translated through the condenser wire electronically into our recorder and becomes ones and zeros and forms wave patterns. We've seen wave patterns that bounce, right? So from here, the recording pattern
actually balloons out. So like a shotgun, when you shoot a shotgun, are you trying to shoot someone 100 feet from you? Or if I shoot you with a shotgun right here, it'll be effective shooting you or shooting someone 100 feet over there?
More for me, because it's more direct than it.
It's a shotgun.
Pellets spread out.
Yeah. So a shotgun cartridge is full of little pellets, and so when you shoot, the pellets spread out. So if I shoot someone far away, the pellet might hit them, but it's not going to be as effective as if all 100 pellets hit you right away, right? So the shotgun microphone, it's going to be more effective for closer, but it does have a recording pattern that will go farther away. Our stick mics have more of a cardioid recording pattern. So what does that mean? So it's directional. So if I really need to point it right here, and we saw Noah interview last one. Thank you. We saw Noah do the interviews, and really had to hold it up to here, and then had to go up to there to hear the person talk correct. Because if I did this and then I did that, we wouldn't be able to hear Noah from this far away. This one really needs to be up close to get good quality sound. It's good and bad for different ways. So if we're recording and I want to do a wide shot, a far away shot of Nico, I can't really hold this microphone far away. But if we're doing an interview piece and I want good clean audio, because it's a cardioid recording pattern, it's really a circle around this microphone. And the farther it gets away, the more it drops off. Whereas the shotgun microphones, directional recording spreads out. So that means if I put a boom mic in there and someone's talking here and someone's talking there, we're going to hear a little bit of it. It's not going to be the cleanest. But yeah, so the boom mic the closer it is, the better. But also it's going to be able to pick up other audio farther away. A stick microphone is going to pick up less. It's going to be the reporter and then there. So it's good for reporting in pieces when the reporter's running around. And there might be background sound. This is why a stick mic is used versus the shotgun microphone. Make sense? Questions, comments so far? All right, let's talk about this. I heard it. Who knows what this one's called? Lavalier microphone? What's the right way to say it? It doesn't matter. I say lav. Grant says lav. Tomato, tomato, I think. I don't know. It is French, and I think lavalier is French, but okay. We use this with our interview with our subjects for the El Centro. But I hate seeing the wires. But for example, lavalier is also known as a lapel mic. The lavalier microphone is a directional microphone as well. It has a much more, it's got a bigger, it's called a hypercardioid recording pattern. So it's a wider recorder. Its recording pattern is much wider than the stick microphone. So if I had the stick microphone down here, it would hear less. But it's a directional microphone that goes basically up. And that's good because I'm going to put it on my person, and then the recording pattern goes up. So it's hearing, as the subject is talking, it's going up towards my mouth. Now, there are lavalier microphones that are wired, and this one is a wireless microphone. So they actually have ones that'll just plug directly into an XLR, and we can run an XLR to the recording. Why do you think wireless? What do you think the benefits between a wireless versus a non-wired microphone is? Yeah.
Just walk around. You're not limited to where you can go.
That is the benefit of the wireless, yes. And we use wirelesses for our films also to capture our actors' speech, as well as the boom. We'll use a boom. So we record multiple angles when we're on set. What do you think the disadvantage is to a wireless microphone?
Batteries.
Batteries.
It's gonna-
Yeah. So that's the key one. So these run on batteries. So guess what? Your Diddy bag, which is your kit that you're going to take to all your shoots, should have at least extra batteries. Or the audio person should be in charge of having good, clean batteries. When the wireless kits start, the batteries start to wear down, it also the signals become inconsistent because it uses a radio sequence. There can be interference. If you're using multiple mic packs, each of the mic packs need to be set to a different frequency, or else there can be bleed, so you can actually get interference. I have been on shoots where I put my recorder with the lavalier microphone, but I'm at somewhere where there's a lot of other press, and then like, oh, I can hear someone else is using the same channel as me. So I have to go in and then reprogram my channel, and you have to make sure they match.
Some frequencies from other.
Yeah, it can definitely pick up other frequencies, and you can. Most of these are like programmable up to like 100 different frequencies. So, why would I use a wired mic versus a wireless?
I assume just to, so there's no batteries.
No
You don't have
batteries?
to worry about the radio stuff. So you don't have, no one's gonna really interfere.
Or
with
not
it.
transmitting? Yep.
And then I would probably just say it sounds easier to use, like just overall, just you don't have to worry about a lot of issues with the wireless.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say the audio quality could be better. It's hardwired always sounds better than.
Yeah, those are all definitely. I mean, where we're at with technology as far as the wireless, the quality is pretty similar. It could be more reliable though. You're not worried about batteries. If I'm going to sit down and be like, hey, we're going to do a 2-hour lecture or a 2-hour interview, we'll have to change the batteries at one point we cut or something. So it's one of those situations where also if you're buying your own equipment, guess what is cheaper? Wired versus wireless. The wireless kits always are a little bit more expensive, and maybe it's like, hey, I'm going to do this because the wireless are totally useful and necessary if you're remote or if the person's walking around, if you're filming something. But if we're just shooting someone in the studio sitting, it makes all the sense to use one of the wired kits because we'll save batteries that way. We don't have to burn through a couple batteries. And we can plug in, and the wireless kits work on something that's called phantom power. Who knows what phantom power is? Anybody? Yeah, what do you think of?
I just know for like audio production, like it's like 48-volt phantom power. Like certain mics don't have enough power to get to like line level, I guess. And so the fan, you press the 48-volt phantom power and it sounds.
Yeah, so basically your audio can draw its power, right? There's no, these wired ones actually can be battery powered if they need. You can actually put a battery in it. But if you don't have the battery, you can hook up to phantom power, but your audio mixer can send out its own power source to the microphone or your camera can shoot out phantom power. Something you have to turn on. So sometimes we plug in a wired microphone, it's like, I'm not hearing anything. Always look for, hey, is phantom power turned on? Because maybe it needs phantom power. Yeah. What? The mixer might be, yeah, it'll draw a little bit more, but it's not like, it's not significant, I would say. Okay, got off a little bit of a tangent. But notably too, like we should absolutely hide our wire. That's a big thing that I'm going to push is if we can, let's hide our microphones and our wire. All right, let me talk about one more microphone type. There's a condenser microphone. What type of mic is this? USB microphone. Yeah, what else? Blue Yeti, yeah, that's the name brand. It's a condenser microphone. It's designed to record voice. What's interesting about this type of microphone is it actually has 3 different patterns. So I can change what my recording pattern is. The first one is a directional pattern, so I'm going to talk into it like a microphone, and it's directionally going to do that. The second one is a bi-directional microphone pattern. What do you think that could be? Mine means two, right? Both ways. It'll record both ways. Why would I want that? Yeah. I could hold it in front of you and me, and we could both talk in the same microphone. It's going to use the back as an input as the front. And then the final one is an omnidirectional. What do you think? Everywhere. So it records everywhere. So it's going to take in audio from all directions. Why would I use an omni? What's the situation that I would use an omni microphone, you think?
Maybe like recording like an orchestra with a lot of instruments or something where you need to have a wide.
You want to capture the whole space that we're recording in. Now, maybe not for dialogue, but for sure, maybe an omni would be for the environment or a scratch track or something like that. So room tone would be good, but let's, you know, like we have a lot of people talking. Maybe I'd have certain people mic'd. The omni is going to collect all. Now, we don't use omnis a lot because it's not very specific, but you know, if we were setting up a camera and we wanted to record everything that's being said in the room, you'd use an omni microphone. So if you, hey, what's up, Geronimo? Have I introduced you in this class yet?
I think so.
I have introduced Geronimo. Welcome, Geronimo. Facilities manager, the person in charge of running the equipment. He's a good person to get his phone number if that. Oh, here, let's talk about this.
New one?
Who knows this? Some of you will know this, right?
Sticky.
It's a what? Shotgun pole? A boom pole, yeah. It's a boom pole. The shotgun microphone goes into it, as we can see. Shotgun pole.
I call it a boom stick.
Boom, yeah. It is a boom pole. And of course, this is on a set. A segmented pole that we can make longer, shorter to record audio. Of course, other than the USB mic, everything else is going to be connected via XLR. There's XLR cables over here, but it's the 3-prong that I talked about. Okay. And you can see the boom pole, I can get farther away. Why would I want my microphone like this? Just because I want to sit over here for Nick and say, hey, Nick, what's up? Yeah. So I'm out of frame, right? Yeah, the boom pole. So this is actually, if it's a close-up and Geronimo's the camera,
You're in my shop.
I'm in the shot, right? So as an audio operator, as long as the boom goes, I would probably want to, do something like this. Closer, right? I want to get as close as possible. Geronimo, give me a mic, a line.
What am I doing? I'm framing it.
Yeah, tell me when I'm in the frame.
Oh, you're in the shop right
Okay,
now.
okay, let me know when I'm out of the frame.
Right there, you're good.
Okay, great. So with the boom, it is the shotgun mic on there, we want to get that in as good as possible. Now, notably, who here has operated a boom pole before? Yeah.
Tiring.
What is it? Yeah, it's tiring. What advice, boom ops, would you recommend?
Find a comfortable way to hold it. By that, I mean experiment with your arms. Try to find a way that doesn't feel like your arms are being tested, because you're going to stay in that position for quite a bit.
At least during the takes, right? Yes. What other advice? Work out? Well, okay, maybe I'm not going to.
Sometimes.
Try to spin your arms as little as possible.
As little as possible, right? Like why would that, if I'm doing this,
The further your arms are, the heavier.
yeah, and the less control and the more shit, like we talked about it with the camera, right? We're gonna bend our elbows and in this situation, think about the 3 points. I'm using my shoulder blades and my hands. What other things should we know for those who aren't familiar with the boom pole? Loop the cable. The cable's gonna be looped around. We'll talk about cables in the future, yeah.
On the
Yeah, so handling, right? So if you have it looped and you move like this and the cable's banging up like that, the microphone's gonna pick it up. And even like your hands, you wanna try, it's not like I can, okay, sometimes you'll be moving and what we are listening for and what the audio operator is listening for is a person, specifically during this dialogue, is it clean, right? So we can make all the noise in the world, but when the person's talking and we're trying to boom, we're holding perfectly still and getting that 3-5 seconds of clean audio. And then, hey, okay, cut. Hey, how did it sound? And you say, it's really bad. Let's do it again. Let's try not moving as much or whatever it might be. All right.
What about coming in from a low angle?
Good job, Drama. Might pass this class one day. We can also, hey, is this in the shot, Drama?
No, it's a tight shot, so you got right there. You're good.
Okay, I can go right there. So I can look and I can do directionally. I'm going to change the microphone. I'm going to do this. What's the good and bad about this angle? Oh yeah, okay, it's called punching the mic. Punch the mic. What's the number one mic that gets punched the most, do you think? You think the boom's getting punched the most? No way.
I think the boom's gonna punch me in a second.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, okay. What mic? So it's not the boom mic that gets punched. Yeah. Lav mic. And why is that? Hey, when I'm talking, some people, hey, I'm gonna make a point. And then as the audio operator is like, oh, don't punch the microphone. We'll get plenty of opportunities to hear it and say that. But the boom pole is probably next, or you get punched in the microphone. And by the way, let's all do our best to be safe when we're handling our microphones so we don't punch each other. We've had a concussion last semester, and we don't want it. And it's not because of the mic. I'm not going to say because of the mic. Who's one of our C-stands punched somebody. So it's unfortunate. C-stands have punched me. I've been punched in the face a couple times by C-stands. And the other one that I've been the most injured by is extension cable. Yeah. That extension cable likes to hit you somewhere. And it's always your own fault. Like, let's see. Yeah. So up or down. The worst part about doing down here, in my experience, is also if you talk with your hands, or if you're holding something, you have a prop that's paper, and I'm trying to get your mouth, then whatever you're doing with your hands and arms, or if you're tapping the table, so down is going to pick up whatever's closest. So in a close-up like this, we'll tell you like, hey, I know you're doing that bit with your hands. Stop moving your hands for this take. Yeah, well, but you have to put your hands in the right way. Just can you not do it this time? And then maybe it's like, okay, well now we have to go above because the hands aren't working. So those are all situations to think about. Also, I find that like lower is easier. At least I'm not holding my hands up the whole time. But the boom operator is definitely going to be a person that's up in your face. There's going to be lights if you're an actor. We'll all get that situation to play around with it. All right, we have our 4 type of microphone. I think we're going to, any questions or comments about that?
When you extended the boom, why did you do the bottom one first, not the top one?
Why?
Like when you extended it.
Why did I?
I don't know. If I knew, I would have passed this class already.
Do you have an answer for that? Because I don't know why I did it.
It's more stable like that. If you pull the first one, it's so like, it's kind of like your last controller, right?
Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah, the wider, yeah, always make the okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I wasn't sure where you're going with. And I don't know everything all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna do the top one, that's probably where you want to use it.
They go thinner, right? So the farther out, they go thinner. But you're gonna always extend from the bottom because you have more of a stable thing. When we go in the lab, you all get an opportunity to touch this and feel the resistance on how it goes. It's one of the learning curve things where if you've never opened a boom hole, it's one of those things where I see new people always go like, oh, this and that, and we can take a look at our wireless lavalier, our stick mic, and our condenser USB cable on X mic, basically.
Talk about where you want to aim the shotgun mic when there's that one.
Yep. Oh, well, that's great. Great question, Darla, actually. I did say talk to the person, but what's your name? Aiden. Aiden and Nick, have a conversation, please.
Good.
All right, let the director draw on and say action.
Action.
Sure. How do you?
That's good. Yeah, I keep hearing all about this like Charlie Kirk stuff that's happening, and so like, yeah, everyone's sending.
All right, cut. All right, let's not get clips right now. But yeah, crazy stuff happening, right? But what did I do when we were recording, right? It was a two-shot. I'm actively moving the boom mic to who's talking, and or maybe I'm stuck right here. I can just twist and be like, maybe I'm in between here, and it's Nick's talking. All right, then Aiden, Nick, Aiden. It's one of those things. But know that when we're twisting too, you have to make sure your wires sound good and everything. A field operator will be wearing the mixer on their person and wearing a headset. The boom operator should wear a headset. In the best environment, our boom operator can hear what the boom is hearing, as well as the audio operator who's hearing all the other channels. The audio operator, and we'll talk more about that, has our mixer, and the mixer is going to have all the inputs. So we could actually have 1, 2, 3 of these microphones all plugged in and recording all that audio at the same time. The audio mixer has, 8 inputs? 12 inputs, I think, if you use the 1/4 inch. So it's 16?
The one up there?
Yeah. Okay. So 16. We could have 16 different microphones. That's a lot to hear and be monitoring, but it's good if we have dual output that the boom operator can hear what's pointing at. We don't always do that. In fact, we rarely do that. So you're just like, hey, and we rely on the boom to be like a backup, scratch them, because we think the audio from the lav sounds better. The other problem with the lav, since we're talking about it, we're wearing a lav. It's wireless. What's another issue? And we talked about that. What's another issue with the law that could cause an issue?
Grant, know you're saying loud.
I'm full-time now. I can say it. In my class, I teach it that way. The students can choose if they want to say lav or lab. But it's not called a lavalier microphone. It's called a lavalier. All right, I'm all twisted.
I shouldn't be right.
You just missed right on drugs. Any questions? Okay. So let's say my microphone is properly here. It's hidden. We're doing a movie now. I'm not with suspension of disbelief. You see the mic wire. We talked about suspension of disbelief, right? If you see the mic, it's not real. It's a movie because there's a microphone, right? But we all know there's a microphone. Okay, so we have the microphone, and maybe I'm punching the microphone. That's one disadvantage. What's another one? All right, here's my scene. Pretty good, right? Yeah. And cut. What would that sound like, do you think? Those who have experience. Yeah, if there's rubbing, if there's that, are we not necessarily record? Maybe if I was doing this and I was talking the whole time, this would be a problem, right? Because the mic is wiring, so maybe we use the boom mic in that situation. But a lot of the times we'll like, hey, there's a lot of movement, we'll cut that out, and then but it's like, but is the dialogue clean? That's what we're working with. Okay? Great. We are going to go into our lab now. Lab is for 2 things. 1, everyone come up and touch the microphones and play around and look at it. 2,
Also, you gotta make sure that whoever has the mic on doesn't walk away with it. That just happened, right?
Yeah. People forget their mic. It's up to the audio operator to get the mics and say, hey, get the mics. People with lavalier microphones, just like, people are nervous to be on camera, but once the interview happened, they got more comfortable. You forget that things happen. You think of reality TV, and people tend to forget. Once they get used to the camera, you get used to your environment, you forget about it. Same with the lavalier microphone. I have heard countless people go to the bathroom with a lav microphone on. I used to work at a news station, and we would hear people go, hey, go from this, oh, cool, I'm gonna take the thing off because I don't want to hear the toilet flushing. Right? Yeah, so if you are talented and you're wearing a microphone, and be aware, because this mic kit,
Easily 50 feet.
this one doesn't have a mute.
No, they remember distance. It does. It's right there. Yeah, that's it.
Sure. On off. Usually mutes on top. This
No,
is
this is the transmitter.
Yeah, Jason, come on.
What?
So that's a transmitter. He didn't bring the receiver down.
It was testing.
He
Right,
did
Jason?
testing that failed. There's a transmitter which is connected to the microphone. There's the receiver, and the receiver receives the.
Wait, no, that one should have it then. But that's the
That
receiver.
one is
The receiver.
the receiver, which receives the thing. The transmitter is the microphone and has a mute button. So even if you leave it on, if you're using a microphone, you're talent, you should know how to turn it off. You should also know about the mute button. And as video specialists, we should all be aware of the mute button because it's like, hey, the wireless isn't working, the lav's not working. Well, half the time I start panicking, and it's like, oh, the mute turned on. There's a switch right here that you can all see. It's really easy to knock, especially by the time by putting it into their pocket or whatever. The mute button right here, the mute switch. So it's also a good privacy thing. Yeah, afterwards, come on and take a look. Okay? Yeah. Okay, questions, comments. Let's play with the boom pole. Let's play with the microphones. But realistically, who needs to be there? Project one. What's the comment? Mike goes out to shop now. Great. Questions, comments, concerns? Hold on.
Say something. Go on.
The project is
Sunday. Sunday.
And
Play
it
with
was
the
so
boom mic?
insane before Tim got back.
Yeah, right? All right, I'm going to stop recording, but I'll leave the Zoom on.